Coughlin Jewelers started out as a small jewelry company in St. Clair, Michigan that is now distributing around the country and soon a supplier for Zales. Owner Patrick Coughlin is a visionary and trendsetter in his industry and gives us an exclusive look at some of his latest pieces.
Coughlin Jewelers started out about 25 years ago in St. Clair, and we started in a very small store, about 1,000 square feet. And at that point, it was just me and one other person. And then we added a jeweler, and slowly and gradually, now we have a big store in St. Clair, right? And it's about 6,000 square feet, filled with diamonds, gold, and jewelry. And we have 17 employees and two jewelers. Our mission is to create jewelry for people that is different. I don't want you to walk into our store and think that you're in Jared's or you're in Kay's or you're in J.B. Robinson. I want you to walk in and be wowed. I want you to say, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this before. And that is what Coughlin's is all about. The mall stores, and I don't want to clump them together, but Jared's, Zales, J.B. Robinson, they're all good stores. But the problem is, if you go into any store, it's the same jewelry. You know, if you go into a Jared in Ohio, a Jared in Michigan, or a Jared in Las Vegas, it's the same jewelry. So what they have to do is the main retailers have to create the same model over and over and over again, right? So the chances of you owning a piece of jewelry from a mall store and having you see it on someone else's finger, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna see that. Here at Coughlin Jewelers, we don't have to worry about that because almost all the jewelry is made here. Our jewelers are designing things all the time, and we don't mass produce. Like if I make you a ring, I'm not gonna make 10 more of those for somebody else. And that's the last thing I ever want is when you're at a party and you see a girlfriend wearing another piece of jewelry, I want yours to be different. That's what's really neat about the Coughlin difference. A first-time customer when they come into Coughlin Jewelers is gonna be a little bit overwhelmed because the store is so large. We have a 6,000 square foot store. But what we try to do is make it homey, comfortable. We bake chocolate chip cookies every morning. You know, if you come in the morning, you can have coffee. If you come in the afternoon, you can have beer or wine, right? We just try to make it very nice. The other thing that they're gonna find that's different than most stores is the selection. We do carry more engagement rings and more jewelry selection than most stores. And lastly, our jewelers, oh my gosh, they are like creative masters. They really make the greatest rings and pendants that I've ever seen. We have a design center in our store that you can actually see the jewelers working. And not only can you look down and see your piece being made, but eventually, in the very near future, we're putting in cameras all around our jewelers. So what we'll be able to do is tell you, if you can't watch the jewelry being made, we can tell you on Friday morning at 11 o'clock, turn your computer on, go to our website, and you'll actually be able to see your jewelry being made right then and there. And there's gonna be a two-way camera. So you're gonna be able to talk to the jeweler. You're gonna be able to tell him things that you like or you don't like, or concerns that you might have. And he's gonna be able to talk right back at you. It's a very interactive way, and no one's ever done it before, so we're just testing it. But that's one of the things that we like to do, is try to be a little bit more innovative and creative.
Putting cameras into its design studio isn't the only innovative project Coughlin is a part of. This year, Coughlin's will be producing a dual-purpose ring and introducing a new emerald.
They found a material that they called Esmeralda Amarelo. What that means is, in Portuguese, that's yellow emerald. And it's the same chemical makeup as a green emerald, exactly the same, except for there's so much iron in the mountain that it actually turns the gemstones from a green color to a yellowish green color. So what we did is we brought a dozen of them back to St. Clair, Michigan. I sold them all in one day. Insane. I've never had a product go like that. So I called Gilberto back, who actually is the miner and the cattle rancher, and I said, send me 30 to 40 more of those stones. And he did. We sold them within 2 days. So finally a little light went on, and I was like, wow, we're onto something. And then we decided to sell them wholesale around the country. So now we're on Holland America, Celebrity, Royal, we're on all the major cruise lines in the Caribbean, which now has also spun us into doing stores around the Caribbean. And the greatest news is, we are now a supplier for Zales. We're launching in November 1st into about 600 stores nationwide, and it's going to be called Emeryl. It's the brand, and what's awesome for St. Clair in Michigan, it's all made here. We bring the stones in from Brazil, we make the jewelry here, and now we're going to be able to supply many stores, and tons of people are going to have some really cool jewelry. I'll doodle. I have my little yellow book, and I sketch all the time. And I sketched out this ring, and it was different because you can take this ring, which is our company logo with diamonds all wrapped around the top. That's what I started with. But then I decided to turn the top and turn it into a pendant. And even on the side, it has diamonds. If you want, you can turn it the other way, and it's plain. It's actually called hand to heart. And because you can wear it on your hand, and then you can wear it close to your heart.
The success behind Coughlin Jewelers stems simply from its passion for diamonds and what they represent.
The biggest compliment I ever received is when I sold a lady a ring. And the great thing about jewelry is you typically, when you buy it, you hand it down to your daughter or your son or your granddaughter. You know, it's something that they can cherish and remember mom or grandma with, right? It lasts forever. This lady had bought one of our Emeryl, one of our unique pieces, and she started to cry. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she was like, no, this is the most beautiful piece of jewelry I ever owned. And I was like, oh, that's very sweet. And I said, you know, you'll be able to hand it down to your granddaughter or daughter. And she said, no, I'm gonna be buried with this. I'm like, wow. I still get goosebumps today because I think of her almost on a daily basis, and that was really the best compliment we had ever received.